Lecha is an interesting seder. I mean, I believe, or will show that it's so, that it's backwards in a way. In other words, it starts off at a time period after a story that's going to be in the middle. So it's not Keseder. It's not Keseder. Now, what not happened? I ain't mugnim about Torah. That's a fact. This was a seder. Actually, the whole concept is not that to show that there's no mugnim about Torah. Yet it's written in a way that you can understand it as the way that it happened this way. My proof to the thing is even that Rashi seems to hold like that it's Geseder, is simply, if you look in Rashi and Boy, it says there that the Yidden were in Mitzrayim 430 years, and the thing there. So he says, so Rashi says, how does he get 430 years? 400 years from it's Yud Beis, Pasuk Yud Mem Aleph, I think. Yeah, or Mem. And he says, how does he work for 430 years? 400 years is that they were actually from the birth of Yitzchak. And 30 years added from the Bris Ben Absalom. So the Bris Ben Absalom, according to this, happened when Avram Avinu was 70 years old. Right? If that's the case, because 30 years before Yitzchak's birth. So if it's 30 years before Yitzchak's birth, so here it says, when did Avram leave Haran? And he's 75. So you know it's 5 years later. So it says, the Farish, it's not to say that. Okay, so I'm saying, so there's no question, it's not to say the Elam goes into, we'll have to go in, it's not to say that. So the question is then, why did the Torah write it this way, to give it this impression? That I can't answer why to give the impression, but at least why he wrote it this way. I think we can get into it. Okay. The Benishim tells Avram Avinu, we'll start with the Nisyanis. When were the Nisyanis and how were the Nisyanis? It's not such a portion in Maisa. I said, if the Gemara would tell us what the Asar Nisyanis were, then I would say, you know, I'd have to adjust and figure out why the Torah considers those the Asar Nisyanis. The only place I find in Asar Nisyanis is the Rishonim in Pirkei Avos try to take apart Asar Nisyanis, what they were and where they started from. Once they have a machlekes of what the Nisyan is, then I can give you my opinion too. I mean, whatever it is, it doesn't mean it's not a thing that's halachic, that this is the fact. But the thing is, so once it's not a fact, it's what you figure it. I got to figure what they say, but I also going to say if I somehow don't see what they say, like one of the nisyonis that they bring is the kipshon eish, right? That is not in the Nisayon in my book. Why is that not in the Nisayon? Because every person will die for what he believes. It's something that was special about Avraham Avinu. He wasn't mitzvah to die for it. There's nothing Nisayon. It was what he felt he should do. It wasn't the point that the test is, do you listen to God or not? God didn't tell me anything. Just the point is that I don't believe in this stuff, so therefore I don't believe in it. Do I stand up for what I believe? How much do I stand up for it? And people die for what they believe in, so that's not a big kasha. So I would say it's such a special thing. Avraham didn't that. Every guy did that. That's what I'm saying. Of course it's in a saying. I want to live, so of course it's in a saying. That's not what I mean. But it's in saying to say that Avraham is special because he blessed this Nisayon, that I don't see. So that's what I'm saying. So let's go into the first Nisayon over here. Okay. That we know over here. The first one's going to come out, the Bris Ben Absalom L'chayr. The Benishim comes to him, and he seems to come to him with the same idea of Noach. Eselakim is halach. In other words, I want you to follow my orders, I want you to do this, I want you to leave town, right? And what am I going to do for you? I'm going to make you into a goy gadol, I will give you a bracha, I'll gather shmecha, So, and therefore, I got to promise you all these good things, because if not, you may not do it. So I'm promising you all these good things, okay? And this, obviously there's nothing wrong with it at that time, because the Benjamin had not yet commanded in his Sarach Lefanai, so therefore it's no big kasha, okay? What is the Nisayan? Let's see what the Benjamin asked him to do. I want you to leave your house, your land, where you're born, and your father's house. My father's house is a Beis Avodah Zarah. Why should I want to be there for? You're telling me to leave town with who? With all my nefesh b'choron. You can think that I'm taking my whole community with me, not just I'm going myself. He took this whole community with him. So therefore, all the Yidden that were with me in here are going to be with me over there. We just moved to a new area. That's all you did, right? It's very fine. So what did I lose? And even if I didn't do that, I don't see the grace of Zach. We all know there's Mexicans over here, right? Illegal aliens. Why are they here? They're here to make a couple of bucks they can send home to their parents, to their family, right? We had this happened to us constantly by us. People came from Europe to work in America to send home to Europe money. So there was there's no job like that in America, in Europe. So they came to America. So it's no big deal a person lives there. You want to be matzliach? Leave home. What's the kasha? So that's why I left home. What's in the saying? So Shiva said, reason we leave home, or the Mexicans leave home, because the particular job they get, or to make money, they can't make it in Mexico. They have to come to America to make money. But Avram was a maimin HaKadosh Baruch Hu. God, what difference does it make to you if I'm in Chorvan or in Canaan? If you want to give me bracha, you can give me bracha here too. So all of us, you want me to leave. Why do you want me to leave? I'm successful here. Why would you want me to leave? And I don't ask that question. That's an assumption. Okay. Now the reason I think that this sign and the others, we're going to go along with it, like the first five, and we're going to be in more, that's with the union of do you follow, do you obey, do you believe in Adnus. Avram Avinu was successful when Lech was not successful because he put in Adnus. What is Adnus? Like Lech said also, if you should be successful, right? And the thing there, so if I'm successful, I'll keep doing it. Because success measures itself differently by different people. Not everybody considers the same success. So therefore, it may be, if you do it just because of success, it may not work. But if I do it because he owns me, he's my boss, he owns me, not just he's my boss that you have to follow, because I can always quit if I'm a boss. But no, he owns me, I can't quit. And the thing there, so then there's a different relationship. So I do it because I have to do it. That was Adnus. So once a person knows that, and he still feels that God was good to him, then all of a sudden he's the biggest makatov HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Shach. In other words, you don't have to do anything good for me because I have to listen to you anyway. And you're doing good for me, so obviously I want to listen to you. Okay? So we have, so it's a good success. But I'm giving you the 5 tests. Do you really believe of Adnus? Now, do you really believe your obedience, strict obedience without understanding, but you have questions on it, and that's what I'm going to show. Those Avram Avinu, according to the way we're talking, was in Eretz Yisrael 5 years before. But this trip that Haran, that Terach took them to go, and he stopped in Haran. Terach stopped in Haran. But Avram and Light and Sora continued their trip on into Eretz Canaan. And they tried to be successful, and they were not successful. And in that point, we'll go into the stories. At that point, Light lands up in Sodom, and Avram is living in Hebron, and he has his relationship over there. That's their friendship and over there, and that's the first part that we're going to have. But that was first going to come in after Revi. That's the point of me saying it. So till there, we're doing it 75. After that, we're going to do it 70. When it's saying, say, why is he doing it that way? Okay. So, but anyway, he was in Eretz Canaan before. And he's saying to the Rebbeinu Shalom, in Eretz Canaan, I didn't do well at all. And nobody came to learn. Nobody cared to learn. And it's over there. Here, I came back to Haran, and all of a sudden, I was very successful, and I got a nefesh hashos over Haran. So if that's the case, why do you want me to go back? That should be the question that he's asking. Okay. But I didn't ask it. Now, he could have made a reasoning to himself. Why didn't he ask it? Obviously, they knew something was special about Eretz Canaan, because otherwise they want to go to Eretz Canaan in the first place. So there must be something special about Eretz Canaan. They knew where Adam Marisha was Makif Kabbanas, and Lech was Makif Kabbanas. Whatever reason, somehow Eretz Canaan is the Mokim that you're supposed to be. So maybe I got to be in Eretz Canaan, even though you didn't see the Hatzlocha yet, because I don't know, I didn't show it to you yet, but really you got to be in Eretz Canaan. Okay, I follow orders. Maybe I made up my own talking. And that's why I go to the next and saying, and he kept going. All of a sudden, he keeps going south. I don't know what the necessity of the pasuk is. My nafkamina. You let me go. Whoever he's going to, no. I'm going. I'm in Eretz Canaan. And I still see no hatzlocha. No place where you're telling me, here's the place I want you to be. You're not telling me anything, and you took me away from Haran, so I should be asking you a question. Why am I here? What am I doing here? What's the purpose? He doesn't ask. Then finally he has a third Nisayon right after that. He's going, you're sending me out of Eretz Canaan. Now, all of a sudden, I can't claim that the reason at least you wanted me in Eretz Canaan was because there's something special about Eretz Canaan. You're sending me down to Eretz Mitzrayim. So you could have left me in Haram for the same price. Why did you take me out of Haram for? So again, another good reason to ask the question, and he doesn't ask this question. That's the point that he's being tested. How much can you take before you're going to ask the question? That's the point. And keep you thinking contradictions to yourself, and you still think, okay. Now, when he's going down to Mitzrayim, he's going to Mitzrayim, so he says they're getting close to Mitzrayim. He says to his wife that I see that you're a beautiful woman, and he uses the lashon yefas mare. Now, really, if we look in when you talk about beauty, there are two forms of beauty. By Rachel, it says that she was the yefas mare, yefas toya, and yefas mare. She had both. And Rashi translates toyar is the parts of panim, the physical form of the body, which is, let's say, can be a statue, would also be a beautiful statue, but Lamais, there's no life in there, on the thing there. But that's beauty in itself. That's toyar, and then there's mare, which is the ziv klestel, which is the charm, the thing that gives you the sparkle in the eye, the thing that gives you life into the beauty. So you see, could be that the ikar beauty of a person is probably the mare, not the toya. As applicable to the mois and the others, we'll talk about it. Probably not when we get into Vayetze, but because that's where we're talking about Rachel, and then later on Yosef has the same thing. while Rivka is only considered Yifas Mare Ma'oid. You use that Turkish terminology, Ma'oid. Dainiyos is Yifei Toya Ma'oid. Again, no double, Fas Mare, Fas Toya, but one and Ma'oid. By Rivka, by Sorah here, we're not talking about the Ma'oid, or not, they're taking only one. What he's telling you, he's taking you, a beautiful woman, what makes beauty? The life, the keches. In other words, the charm is probably more what do you call it, than anything else. I heard a thing with a shikse describing what they considered a bum. And a guy, a Russia fooled her, this and that. And the expression was that he wasn't even that good a looking person. Once you knew him, he was pure charisma. And therefore that was, so mashma, the word charisma, whatever that means exactly, somehow has a bigger effect on drawing people than the actual beauty. That's anything there. And that's probably why he uses the lashon of mare, fas mare, that you have. And then when the women and the Mitzrayim will see you, so what will they do? They'll kill me and they'll let you live. Okay? So do me a favor, say that you're my sister. They will do favors for me. They'll give me a lot of gifts. And will also let me live. Now, usually if I'm worried about my life, the first thing I should say, they'll let me live. And then I'll say, besides, they'll let me live, I could even make a couple of bucks on the side here. And what's these breaks and beaches the first of the bucks? Okay. We have, later on again in this Sedra, when he kills Kedol Omer, and he comes back with the richest that he took from Sdoim. So it says over there that so the Melch Sdoim says to him, "Ten le anefesh, v'richush kach loch." You can keep the money, give me the people, right? And when Avram says, "No, I lift up my hand to God. I swear I won't take a thing from you because I don't want you to say you made me rich." And Rashi doesn't say because I don't want a Russia say you made me rich. He says because God already promised me he's going to make me rich. I don't need you to make me rich. Right? Yet, the kash is how come he took from Paro, which 1 minute is going to have. He's going to take money from Paro. What do you take from Paro? And according to me, even you have a bigger kasha. How is he planning to become this rich guy? By saying, they'll give me money because of you. Why will they give me money because of you? Because you're a beautiful woman, they'll give you money? Big deal. They just take you and then bring you to Paro's house. What's it got to do with you? What should they pay me money? They want to give me a cow, so give me a cow, so I won't fight with them. But why would they give me, will you hear what they gave him? They gave him, steht doch in der, Avram heitig v'avur v'yiloitzoyin u'boker v'chamoyrim v'avodim v'shvoches v'asoynes v'gmalim. That's all for this one woman. Why should he do that? He's a pari. Pari's got probably a harem full of women. So why would she pay that much money for it? She's beautiful, Taki, so good. So I bought 2 cows. The pshat is, Avram Avinu is the richest man in the world. Probably even the strongest man in the world. That was a nest, whatever it is. It wasn't, didn't he have anything there? He's the richest man in the world. How did he become the richest man in the world? Because when he killed Kedol Omer, let's understand who Kedol Omer was. Okay? Kedol Omer had an army of 185,000, and the Gemara says Roshi Geises. That means 185,000 generals. 185,000 generals comes out to a Heusion of about 5 billion people in an army. That will be the army of Kedar was the army of Sancheiriv, and it will be ultimately the army of Gog and Magog. And the fellows that whatever that means, and it means that, but it's that vast an army you're talking about. Or maybe it means the people of it, but you're talking about that kind of a thing there. And he wiped them all out. Avram Avinu. Whatever, however he did it, with the sand or whatever it is, however he wiped them out. These guys probably all had avodim. They all had horses or animals that they were driving around with and stuff like that. They had weapons. They had money, right? You see that at least in the 400 years later, when by Mitzrayim, the Biza al Hayom is bigger than the Bizas Mitzrayim. In other words, when they went to go out to war, they took everything with them. So there was tremendous thing there. Even if he gave back to Beryl Sdoim, he only gave him back what he took from Sdoim. What did the Seforim do? What did Kedar Leimer do? They came, Amalach Masharita, Ya'akov Seforim Parshas Kanayim, Vesei Azuzim Bahom, Vesei Mebishov Kirasayim, Vesachir B'Aram Seir, right? Ya'akov calls the Amaleki, V'Gamas Hamayriyesh B'Chatzin Toma. And then he took from 12 Sdoim. So all of these countries, he'd wiped them out. The Hapolit is by the Pshat is that there was, he wiped out all the Rephaim. There was no Rephaim left. So what did he do with all that? He took all their money, took everything else there. When Avram beat him, so Avram got all that money. So he got all that money, all those avodim, all those animals, all those things there. So Avram is the richest man in the world. With the avodim, he probably has a nice side to the army. They're not fighters, so that doesn't count. But he has the nefesh of the chorim. He's coming down with a group. Why is he afraid of anyone? This
happened before he went to Mitzrayim?
I'm sorry?
This happened before he went to Mitzrayim?
Before he went to Mitzrayim, right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that the Bris up the fight of the Malachim was before even the Bris. So we'll talk that when we get there, but it happened before.
Didn't Loy get schar because he kept quiet?
Everything you'll get. Okay. There's 5 years, so there's you got all. What was I trying to explain? Yes, he's got so what was he afraid of? If he's the richest man in the world, he's got all these avodim, he's got all the richest b'chorim, how is he going to kill me? Right? Well, if you're guessed by somebody, it's very easy to kill you. The way they can stab you in the back. Or they poison your food. No kasha can kill you, right? And once you're out of the way, you're out of the way. That's not a kasha. Okay. I forget who said it. I think it was, what is his name? Augustus Caesar. Octavius. Before there were three Shutvim. Octavius, what do you call it? The one that married Cleopatra, Mark Antony, and a third guy, I forgot his name. And there were three guys ruling Rome after Julius Caesar. And one guy, and they invited this third guy by Octavius. So the head waiter, or his general, or whatever he was, the assistant, we could have killed him now. And stuff like that. We can kill him now. And the thing, he's here, he's under. So he says to him, if you would have killed him, I would have rewarded you. I would have given you a tremendous one. Because you would have done me a tremendous favor. We got 1/3 of their partners, and we're now 2 guys all the thing there. But once he said to me this, I have to protect him. He's now my guest. Yes, so So Pshat is they can always kill the guy there. That's the big deal. What they bring you. That was you could do it, and nobody can stop you. So how do I guarantee that they don't kill me? That's the point that Aram was saying. So now, but if you're my sister, he wants to become my mechutin now. Now, become my mechutin, he's going to give me a lot of money. Be a mechutin. Now, why are you doing this? God told you, I'm going to give you a break. You're going to have the money. You're going to be this. So why are you worried? I'm not worried. But I got to do ishtadlus too. So I'm doing in this. You're the richest guy already in the world. Yeah, so what? The Benishim has plenty. He's given me plenty, but I still got to do ishtadlus. He said, because he promised me now to give me more money. So I got to do ishtadlus for now. What I have already, I have. Okay. So I want you to do that. So now, what else is he going to do about this? I claim he's going to want to make it obvious to find Sola. Now, it's not a big deal to hide someone. I don't know if you guys, you went on an airport, right? And the guy is checking he looks at you, next, right? And then they do look at you. That I got to tell you. But it depends. But sometimes they don't really look at you that well. But they look at you. If I put a little bit of cotton in her mouth, right? And I would have put a pillow on her stomach, and then I don't think anybody's going to look at Sola. So what was the problem? Why are you making a big deal about putting her in a box and the thing there? And a box is a very funny thing. How do you put in the box? You have to have breathing holes. You have to have the balance of a person being in there. You know, they fall this way and that way. I want them to find her. Because if they find it, then they're going to talk about it. If they pass her through, they're not going to even look that she's a beautiful woman or not. I want them to find her and thing because we're doing this for ishtadlus. I want them to offer me for my wife. Okay. So why are you looking for this trouble? Who? Because I know I'm coming out of here alive. No problem. I've got to do my ishtadlus. So we're doing even ishtadlus with fooling them, bringing it to attention, whatever you want to call it. I'm willing to take the money from Parvin, and for Stem I don't want to take the money. Why not? So we got to understand this. Why the Melech Stem, I think, was either such a balgaivenik, a crook. I don't know, I really can't figure out exactly what I would call him. But basically, he lost the war, right? The words, Kedolaimer takes everything he has. Somebody comes along and beats Kedolaimer. Who does that stuff belong to? To Zdoim or to the guy who beat Kedolaimer? Now, that goes the guy. Because how did we take the Eretz Sichon? It's a Haman and Moiv, you're not allowed to take Haman and Moiv, right? But Sichon, Tir B'Sichon. Sichon took it first, and we took it from Sichon. So here also, we're taking it from Kedolaimer. What's it got to do with you? Right? And yet you have the chutzpah to tell me it's your money. Okay, you're willing to give it to me, but it's yours. That kind of money I don't want. I don't need someone coming along saying, I made Avram rich. Aber regular ishtadlus, that I got money, Stama saying the work, I made a living, someone gave me a matana, and someone did this. Why wouldn't I take it? Of course I'll take it. God said I'll give it. That's how he's giving it to me. He's giving it to me through this method. He didn't have to say you have to be just deposit gold in front of me. This is the way I'm successful. Once that is, I can do all the things and still have I can do all the ishtadlus I want and still feel God is the one that's giving it to me. And this we'll discuss. So Shiva always used to bring in the four kings. What do you mean the four kings? David HaMelech. David HaMelech says on himself, I will chase, I will capture, and I will kill, and Rabbeinu Shem, you did it all. Osa says, I will chase and I will capture, but he doesn't say I will kill. because you did it all. But if I said I kill, I take credit for myself. Yeshofet came along and said, I will chase. Didn't even say I'll capture, because if I capture, I'll also take credit for it. Chizkiyahu came and he went to sleep when Sancheirav attacked. Didn't even go daven. He says, because if I would daven, I would say it's my davening that made the Yeshua. And therefore I can't take any credit at all. That's the point. So who's called, but David, he was always called Mogen David, I was protected. Let's see Shmanesra. Melech Oiza Mashiach Mogen. What does Oiza mean? God helps me. What does help me mean? I was having difficulty, and all of a sudden he gave me a hand, a boost. That's helped me. Moshiach, he saved me. I was drowning or whatever it is there, and without him I couldn't have done it. Saved me. And then there's Mogen. You protected me. I never felt it at all. Baruch atah Hashem, Mogen Avraham. All three things Avram realized is Mogen Avraham. You were always protected. The fact that it looked like you were upside down, the fact that it looked like I had to save you, the fact that it looked like this, that's just what it looked like. Abel Netzias, I was taking care of you, you were always protected. There are only two that are called Mogens, Mogen Avraham and Mogen David. Those are your two Mogens that we have. That they can have the full things happen to them, all the grace and nisim, and whatever they did for themselves, and still say you did it all, B'nai Shalom. That's the madrega we all have to get to. That is finally the end zach that we work, we hard, and then in Parshas Eikev, the Torah calls the mon two things. It calls it one by Yamchu v'Yariveka v'Yachilchos Hamon. That means I made you hungry, and therefore and that gave you the mon. So the mon is a savior, right? That's one pshat. That's one way he calls him. At the end of the same parsha. And he says what? He fed you money the midvash in order to punish you and to test you. So you tell me that it's a test and it's a punishment eating the money. So what is it? The savior or money? He says, what's it talking about over here? It's talking about, you should remember, I did it. When you're in the midbar, and you had the mon was given to you, the mayim from the stone is given to you, Anani HaKavod was doing all the work for you. You were superfluous. There's no need for you. What do you got to do? I don't have to work. I don't have to even do any household chores. I don't have to do everything. Is taken care by itself. It's all done. So what are you doing? There's no need for me. No, that's the biggest clap to a bench, is that there's no need for you. You didn't do anything here. You were waiting. That's what the bench is. That's the highest madrega a person can reach. I can work like a feld and realize I didn't accomplish anything. The bench gave it all to me as a gift. That's the highest madrega. The lowest madrega is where even it's not mine, I claim it's mine. And then there's the regular madrega. We all have to aim for these three madregas. That's the point that we're aiming for. We start with the heter of giving away dimes, because I don't want anybody to even claim something like that, because that's stupid, but I don't want it to be claimed anyway. And parei is the normal derech ha'olam. And then what I'm working on is that even though I made all these plans how to get the money, how to fool Paro, how to get him to marry, to take Sarah as a wife, and to pay me off, and all these things, and realize that Benishim is the one that gave it to me. That's the highest madrega. Okay, so anyway, we see what type of person though Pari is. Avram he gives it, and he's angry at him, and he says, why did you tell me? What'd you do to me, right? Why didn't you tell me it's your wife, right? Now I want you to take what I gave you and get out of here, right? Vayitzavel of Para Anoshim, He paid people, not an army there, by Shalchwais, Vesishtoi, Veskola Shaloi. Now they escorted him outside of the, you work for your vice president or president of a company, and they fire you somehow. So what do? They call security, and they march you out. And the thing that they don't let you take anything of the stuff there, because that's the biggest besoy you have. I don't want you here, I don't need anything. That's the difference between Pari and Avimelech. Avimelech, he did the same thing too. He said, Achoisi, and he gave him money for it. But what did he tell him afterwards? Okay. He told him the thing there. He kashi, so I see. Vayikach Avimelech tzei nevoka, vayikach Avram vayosh, and vayem Avimelech hinei artzi lufanecha, v'ateiv beinecha shev. I want you to stay in my country. I need you. I need people like you. That's the thing about Pari and Avimelech. Pari gets out of here, and he says, no, stay here. Okay. So now, they paid Avram and they kick him out of the country, and he's gone. Okay, and he goes back to where he came from, to somehow whatever it is, but he says in the Quran, he didn't have to move out of Quran. The Gamla later richest Avram hayetzeh nevoko. He also gave him money, right? Because he's the younger brother. So now the schar that Lech gets, that his kids got that they got a chelik of Yerusha, of land from the 10 countries, is because he didn't say what, or like squeal that it's really his wife, not his sister. No, if you talk about a sister, I'm the sister, I'm the brother. They didn't do that. And for that he gets the Yerusha. Like Lechayre, he's fucked his Rebbe, his brother-in-law, his uncle. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why he's not going to do that. He's not going to squeal on him. So what's the difference? So they say that he was able, he didn't even have an emotional mitch. He knows Avram tells the truth. He knows Avram is always emes. And Avram said such a thing, and the only thing he should have got around or something like that, and he didn't do that either. Didn't get any kashas and stuff like that. Avram did it. He has a reason for it. It's not my business. Okay. And for that he gets the sah. Okay. And it says right here there was a riv between Avram and Avram and Light. Now, there's a Medrash Agoda here, but I think it's brought down first in Hiseitze. What's over say over there? Come on, where are you? Yeah, Ki Reuven Anoshim, right? So Dr. Rashi, Seforim negoshim, Sefri, Elamishpet, Emma Mayata, and Shalom Yitzim Etech Mariva, can't have peace coming out of a fight. Migoram leloit, lefreish benat tzadik, havaim ezu Mariva. That was the Mariva. So whose fault was the Mariva? Light's, the Rei Light or the Rei Avram? So let's see what happened. We know the story is that the Rei Light put their animals in other people's fields. And the Rei Avram took theirs into the Midbar. And they called the Rei Light crooks. Right? They want to give a mussar, they want to steal. I mean, isn't that what they should have done? Yeah, you're right, 100%. Depends how you give Musa. There's a Malbon a little bit strange here, but he tells you how to give Hasroya. If I give you Hasroya, making like, we're teasing you, like making you to try to prove you're right, that's you're the Geichen, not the guy who does it. See also what they do, what they should have done, okay? They sort of are light putting their stuff on somebody else's property. So they said, "Light, what are you guys doing?" He said, "Well, what's the problem? The land belongs to Avram, and Light is Avram's nephew, so he's the Irish. So it's our land." He said, "You're right. It's on you. I hear this for you're saying, but Avram himself told us to put our animals in the midbar." "Oh, you did? Why?" "I don't know. We'll ask you when we get back." Okay? At that time, we'll find the answer, what the truth is. But what did they do? They called him a crook. When they call you a crook, what do you just say? "I'm not a crook." Right? I see, I'm going to do it, and I'm show you I'm not a crook. Right? And so as I say, you're the ones that caused it. So that's called a mariva. That's the thing over. So then they, in a way, the Avram were to blame, whatever it is there. But anyway, but it did come out to a way of attitude of looking, and it comes to, once you have the people are fighting with each other, so you're going to have a problem with the also, you guys, you started up, they did this, who's what, this. So Avram said to him, "Why should you make a river between me and you?" Right? So let's go it is the this is the Goyen touches this up. Just the point is im hasmol ve'emino v'im hayomin v'asmeilo. So it says it goes on the shin and the sin. We say aser b'shvil tish aser. So you do with the sin, that means on the left, I will make it to the right. I'll give you riches. If you make it to the right, I'll make it to the left, that you'll get 1/10 of it. Now, if you don't want to give the Maisa, that's it. So I say you think it's too much to give away, so I'm going to give poor, then you'll have 1/10 only. Okay. Anyway, Vayisa later, so Vayaz Kokika Yardin, Kimala, that should be, that would be first, like it seems like he first saw it, like, right? And he picks to go to Stein. Now, if we have the way I've told you the story before, that the war of the Baal Malachim was before this, so then when he lived already in Stein, why'd you go back to Stein? You knew they were Rishoyim. Why did you go back to Stein? That's the tiny. And therefore it says, Rashi says, after Lech left him, he spoke to him about giving him Eretz Yisrael. So Rashi says, Achi porit Lech me'imoi, let's see, God didn't speak to him as long as Lech was with him. All of a sudden, Lech's called the Rosh. Why is he called the Rosh? He's the Talmud. He's the guy he's took with him, and to make him money for, which is something I didn't mention before. Man, I'll just do it in a second. So so this is the point: is that Lech knew what Stein was, and he still went back to it because what? It was a fertile country. It was a country. It was good. It was good panosa over there. He went back for the abshirus and stuff. That's a Russia. You know, you're not going to be the guy that's spreading my word about, I'm still there, but I'm still a tzaddik. I mean, that didn't stop. Okay. Now, what I want to tell you, I just said I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, it's over here. It says, Lech went with him. Then it says, Vayikach Avram Esor Ishtoi V'Sloit Ben Ochiv Let's call Heusion, and then he took his wife, and like, what's the difference between Light went with him and he took Light? Light, when Light went with him means I'm a partner. I'm a partner means I'm also the Rebbe. So you're not meshubit to you. When I took you, that means I'm taking you as a Talmud. That was the difference. And that's why maybe Light had this difference of opinion and felt he was entitled to the difference of opinion. Because even though I'm your Shirish, I'm the guy that's going to, because otherwise, why does Avram come to save Light for? I mean, you got to be crazy. Want to take an army alone, or with 318 people, or you and Eliezer alone, whatever you're going to be there, don't make any sense. It's suicide. Why are you going? Right? Elavos, the Benjamin took me out of Kivshan Eish. And why? Because he wants that religion to go. Light is I have no children. Light is my Yerush. And Mir Hashem, he'll save me here too. And that's what Taka happens, and whatever it is there. Okay. Now we get to the story. All of a sudden he goes in. And this, I think, he brings it in, this whole story, to tell us why Light was the Rosh and why Light is not part of the inheritance. That's the point. Now we have to say, Shmuel we learned already, but we didn't learn yet. Why is Shmuel not part of the inheritance? Later on we're going to learn, because he didn't do Priya. Light is not part of the inheritance because he held that a person. What does a person have to do to be a tzaddik? Right? I can be a tzaddik the best I can be. Or I can be a tzaddik, I'm the best person here. And he said, you judge me according to my circumstances, so I'll go to Israel. They're the worst people in the world. I'll be a tzaddik. I have no problem. I don't have to be so perfect. Right? I live with Avram, I got to have a different type of, So that was us. You don't belong Klal Yisrael already. It's the wrong philosophy that we want. Pri is the same thing we'll have later on with Yishmael is bounced out, because God said Yishmael is not going to make it. Why? Because he didn't do Priya. Or there was no tzivah on Priya. So what he told him is, Avram said, do Priya, because we know the mention in time was going to want Priya. You do Priya. It says, and Yishmael said to him, whatever he commanded, I do. Extra, I don't have to do. I don't look for chumash or what he could possibly want me to do. And therefore, he also doesn't belong. Now, what Yid has to be, to find what the Bench wants, and how to do it, the thing in a way that it should be done in a nice way, an accepted way. Okay. So we have this war, and we said they defeated everybody, and the Polit came and told him whatever it was there. Okay. They capture everything, and he goes to war with them, and Malki Tzedek gives him a bracha, and by the fact that he Avram, we kill he put Avram before killing, so shame. Malki Tzedek is shame. The fact that we call the city Yerushalayim is because he called it Shalem, and Hashem Yeroyah is what Avram called it. So we put the Yeroyah and Shalem together, we get Yerushalayim. That's the thing. So obviously, Shalom Tzaddik is what he called it, and it's always, if you look in the Yorabe, they use this Loshin Shem Hagodol. In other words, Shem was that big a person. He was a Neilad Mol, he was the Yeshiva, he had the Yeshiva Shem Be'eva, stuff like that. Afal Pikain, this mistake, passed them off. In other words, and you have this by, what's his name, Baden ben Baden, Melech of Bavel, that when Chizkiyo was sick, he sent him a letter, and the thing over there, and the son stepped, whatever it is, this. He saw the nest that happened over there. So he sent him a letter to give him. He says, blessed is, what do you call it? And he put Chizkiyahu's name first. And the shliach was going with the letter, and he ran after him 10 steps or something, or 9 steps, whatever it is there, to stop him because I made a mistake. I have to put God's name first, and stuff like that. And for that, he said, Gabriel's the one that tripped him up, because if he would have gotten that extra step, he wouldn't have been able to pay him off in this world. So therefore, he didn't get in that extra step. But the idea is that this concept that the Benishim's name has to be first. How you have to work the sentence, that's your problem. But the right is it has to work out that I'm blessing the God to you, not you to the God. And then Baruch Kelein and Mishbog Mitzarech B'Yadecha, that Lechayri should have been first. Baruch Avram Lekelein, even though he says two Kelein, but Baruch Avram. Okay. And then came the nice amounts diamond, and they'll pick up my stuff. After this, after the War of the Four Kings, you have this story. Rashi says the word Acha Advorim as opposed to Acha Advorim. What's the Lashon over here? Acha Advorim, there is a Lashon here. Acha Advorim ha'ele komokim shnema acher somuch. Achere is muflag. If it means it happened right after this, not years later. It just happened right after this. So this, first of all, we know it took place after this. So this Parshas is after the Four Kings. Okay. And he says to him what? That I'm going to give you a lot of schar. So well, let's see what Avram answers him. Hashem Alikim, Matitali, what could you give me? I have no children. And by the way, this Meshek Eliezer doesn't mean Eliezer, it means late. By the way, because Eliezer was not even around at this time, and the stuff there. It's exactly what the Pshat is, how he was in the battle of 318 ends to Eliezer. It was a minor Eved, because he's the one that was, Eliezer was given by what's his name? By Nimrod, right? Was given as a never to Avram. He was a kid or something there. Whatever he said. Vayem Avram Hinlan Asata Zera, Vahine Ben Beisi Yerishisi. Right? And he says it again. Right? Two Vayemas. You don't find that the Benishim answered him anything in the middle. There is one other place, I don't remember, and I was looking to answer it. I have to remember when I next course where it is. And so this is the Lashivas Kasha. Says L'chayri said the same thing twice, and you don't find that the Benishim told him anything in the middle. So what did he bespeed himself for? He said it's really two statements. The first one is Kipshute. In other words, I went through the thing. The history of religion is not a very good one. Adam Rishon was a religious guy. He taught religion to his sons, taught it to his Einiklach. How long did religion last till we got Avodah Zarah in the world? Till Lenish, 300 years. Right? You had Noach, when he was alone in the world, he was religious. All the people of the world were religious. And when he's 340 years later, you have the Mikvah. So again, religion is 340 years. Don't last longer than 300 years. So he says it doesn't make much difference who it is. Are my real kid? It has to be my children, any children, as long as they teach the religion, the Talmidim, they'll carry on the religion, right? So you realize if he does that, it's going to be like all the other religions, 300 years and it's finished. So he said to him back again, I have to have my own. If I don't have my own kid, it's never going to happen. So this is what we should call Teira delay. Not the, what's domestically as I mean? Daile el mashki, the Teira of his Rebbe. He took the Teira of his Rebbe, he said over the Shiur to the next day. So it's the Rebbe's Teira you have. Never became his Teira. Never became his Teira, it's not going to last. It'll last a few hundred years, a couple of hundred years last year, but it won't last. Every person has to make it his Teira, then it will last. And that's the thing you're doing this. He says, once you realize that, once he said that, he had the charote, Vayem Avram, the Bishop said to him, Vayem Elov, Lo Yirosh Chazeh Ki Yimel Sheyezim Yeyachot. Hitaka won't be the one that inherits. You'll have someone that comes from you who will make it take a delay, and then it has kiyum to continue on forever. And he took him outside and he shows him the skiven, and now we have the Bris Ben Absalom. So you see the Bris Ben Absalom is after the 4 kings, right? But right after whatever it is, and the thing over there. So it's not in the order that this was before. So somewhere in between this 70 years, or whatever years, because the question is how to figure out the years. It says 12 years, 12 Shana of this Kedolayma, 13 Shana Maradu, that's 25, right? Ve'arba Shana Bom Kedolayma, and that's the 14th year, so it's 26 years, right? Total 26. 26, Avram was, how old was by the Migdal, according to the Rashi, when did Stein become an independent country and all this thing, is when they made the Migdal. When the Migdal broke up, everybody split up into becoming 2 different things. And at that time, Kedolayma took over these countries. So how old was Avram by the Migdal? He was 48 years old. So he's 48 and what did I say, 26, 13, and for 26 and what did I say, and 48 is what? Is 68, 72, right? And this is 70. So something is wrong already right over there. The numbers don't fit. It should be 72, this thing. Okay, so could be, so because of that I think Seder Elam is the one that translates it this way. In the 12 years they served him. The 13th year they revolted. Not for 13 years they revolted. In the 13th he revolted. In the 14th he came. So he only been with 14 years. So 14 and 48 is 58, 52, 62. So you got 8 years to play with. How it happened. They were independent. They weren't independent. Whatever they were. So this is how you go. Okay. But it's all before. Now, Shaila is, what was the chet that Avram did? He said to him, the bench is going to be, your children will be avodim for 400 years. Stuff, what was the Aveira he did? Now, was Mo'eda, how will I know? Now, let's be realistic. Anything's going to happen after your death. How will you know? So what does it mean that he asked the question, how will I know? You're going to be dead, so of course, how will I know? You're not going to know nothing. You're dead. Elavos, I want you to make a shvur with me. I want you to commit yourself. It's not enough. I want you to make the bris ben absor. I want you to make a bris that it's going to be mine. Okay, so that's the Aveira. You know, you don't believe my word, you're going to make me, I want you to swear. Okay, good, fine. I'll do for you. But others learn that it's a schus. What's the schus that we're going to be, that we can be able to do it? And the schus are korbanos. So the shaila is this then the pshat is we have a pshat of what the 400 years are. 400 years is, I'm going to show you. You were talking about if we do with the Ian of since you realize that we want you to have Torah delay and stuff like that, even if you're going to be slaves for 400 years, it still isn't going to make a difference. The religion will last because there's a Messiah. We lasted for 2,000 years in Golis under the most terrible conditions. If you think about it, why does no other religion and no other thing ever existed like we existed, right? Rome was bottled, Greece was bottled, everybody's bottled. Who's the Jews around? What made us around? That's the Gersta Nest. But what is it that made us around? The thing that the fact that we have something that we lived for, we died for, whatever it is, the Torah, it became something that would the Torah become so important. And I think could be that's why Bayesheni was the important one, because we made the Shas, we made the Mishnah, the Gemara afterwards, not just the Torah Shebiksav, and the rest was just a thing there, because that just people don't forget, don't pass it on. You have the books and people heard of it, and everything that the ideas remain. And we lasted through all that things. So they're saying that that's what he's showing us. That I want you to know there's going to be a kiyum, because you're going to have 400 years of terrible years, and we'll have a kiyum. You'll say it's not the nation. The nation should have been 5 times as big at least, the minimum, right? Chamushim olam el Mitzrayim, only a fifth one out of Mitzrayim, but we're still there. 6 million were killed, we're still here. What do you call the thing there? We only had how many Yidden comparatively to the Freie in the world now? I don't know. We probably were a lot more than we think we had. But for a while, there was less than 1 million. Yet, the only force that still exists is the Fume, right? In other words, the Freie are falling, they're not going to be here anymore. In another 2 years, there won't be any more Freie. Conservatives are finished now. And the reform is also finished. Reform is goyim, and nobody wants to be conservative because tamshtus. So the only one you have is the Orthodox, is the thing, and we have different levels of commitment, and that like all the time. Aber alles eine Frumme. We all eat kosher. We keep up an economy. That's what he called it. That's the point that is there. We have a kiyum. He's always going to live. Because we made a Torah delay. We adjust, we make it Torah thing, and we fit into the time. And Yirtzeh Hashem, the Bein Shem bring us back. And whether this is it or not, we'll find out. But the Bein Shem is bringing us back.